I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Well, let's get started on this Wednesday morning with a look at the forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Because Thomas, you've been telling us it's going to get hot.
It is
summertime
in the Northwest. It's got to get hot eventually. It's just definitely night and day compared to last summer versus the one that we're experiencing so far this year. But yeah, the heat's going to start to crank up another notch or two in the next 7 to 10 days or so. It's even just a little bit more mild outside this morning, but compared to some of the cooler mornings we had for Monday and Tuesday, still standing at 61 degrees, plenty of sunshine. It almost looks hazy when it's zoomed in. You're looking off at the rows of trees in the distance. It's almost like a painting out there at Riverfront Park. And a lot of areas are in the 60s even as of 6 a.m. We got 65 in Grand Coulee and Ritzville, 61 in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, but just 57 on the Palouse in Pullman. And I don't think we'll see any cloud cover at all again for today. Another one of those super sunny days out there with those temperatures pushing 90 degrees. Would only be the third time this year that we've been in the 90s, but we have a hot stretch of weather on the way, not just this week, but definitely next week. I think our temperatures will be pushing mid-90s at minimum for the Spokane area, and I'll show you just how warm conditions could be through next week as those dog days of summer are certainly upon us.
Spokane County leaders have until tomorrow to submit plans for the homeless camp along I-90 if they want access to $24 million of state funding. So this morning, KRIM 2's Nicole Hernandez is joining us live to explain what this money is and what it needs to be used for. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Channing. So the Department of Commerce says Spokane County needs to spend every cent of that $24 million on relocating and housing the people living here at this homeless encampment along I-90. Both Spokane and Spokane Valley are two of the 5 cities that would have access to this money. But first, the Department of Commerce says they need to know exactly how Spokane County will be spending the money. Local leaders say they know what they are doing with 30% of the money. That $7.5 million will go towards adding more space at the Trent shelter and buying a motel on Sunset Highway. They wouldn't say which motel, but they did say that it would house 110 people. County leaders have until tomorrow, though, to submit plans for the other $17 million. But last night, Spokane Valley City Council said they have concerns and decided not to sign off on the regional proposal.
I agree that Camp Hope is not a good situation over there. Not from what's going on there. It's not a good situation. It needs to be broken up. It needs to do something different. I just don't see a mega facility, regardless of where it would be at, is a good solution for that.
Spokane Valley City Council suggested they come up with their own proposal, but again, they have until tomorrow to submit a regional plan to the Department of Commerce. And Jules Helping Hand says in the meantime, this homeless encampment along I-90 has grown to more than 600 people living in it. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KRIM 2 News.
This morning, police are still looking for the suspect in a road rage shooting on I-90 last Friday.
And we're learning more about the victim in that shooting. He's been identified as 34-year-old David Knofle. His girlfriend says he also leaves behind a young daughter. The Spokane County Medical Examiner says Knofle died from a gunshot to the back. He was on the eastbound I-90 near the Thor Freya exit when he got involved in a road rage incident and crashed through a fence near the Appleway exit.
We're all broken. His friends don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to handle it. His mom's barely handling it.
The Washington State Patrol is investigating this as a homicide. They believe the suspect is a man driving a white Chevy Malibu type of car. If you have any information, you are asked to contact Washington State Patrol. Happening today, the Crime in Washington Annual Report for 2021 will be released. The report is done by the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. It gathers data from state, counties, and tribal agencies, and it's designed to give law enforcement and city leaders information about crime in their communities.
It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. The Kootenai County coroner has identified the teenager who drowned in the Spokane River near Corbin Park over the weekend. The 14-year-old's name is Henry Jack from Spokane. Jack was at the park with family when he hadn't been seen for over an hour. Divers located him 20 feet from shore in 10 feet of water. Alaska Airlines is making their check-in process a little easier. They just became the first U.S. airline to launch an electronic bag tag program. The tags will allow flyers to skip printing their baggage tags, so then all you'll have to do is activate your device by touching your phone to the tag in the 24 hours leading up to takeoff. Rollout is expected later this year. Our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press report the University of Idaho Coeur d'Alene has a new CEO. The university announced Andrew Fields will be taking over this position. He comes from Shasta College in Northern California. Fields will oversee several university programs, including community outreach in Northern Idaho. He replaces Larry Stauffer, who was serving as the interim CEO. Fields starts August 17th, and that's a look at your morning rush. Well, history buffs have a reason to celebrate in North Idaho as 2 World War II planes have landed at the Coeur d'Alene Airport.
This is so cool. The planes are a B-17 and a B-25, both of which were built back in the 1940s. The B-17 you see here on display flew in the Pacific during the war and was an aerial bomber. It is only one of 4 in the world that is still flying today. The B-25 is a combat plane that flew 15 missions in the Mediterranean in 1944. The planes are a reminder of the people who fought during the war.
To honor the men and women who flew these airplanes in World War II, and also to honor the men and women who currently serve in the armed services, and educate. Let these youngins come out here, so to speak, and take a look at these airplanes and kind of get a little history of what it was like to operate these airplanes in that type of environment.
The bottom of the planes features signatures of people who flew the planes. So cool. The Coeur d'Alene is a stop on the West Coast tour that is done every summer. The warplanes will be at the Coeur d'Alene Airport through the end of the week before moving to Walla Walla. Ground tours, are $15 per person, and you actually do have the chance to fly in one of the planes Friday through Sunday, but those tickets are a little bit more expensive. They start at $375.